here, and I'm just going to turn it right over to Dan. And Dan, I'm going to go ahead and let you should be able to go ahead and spotlight and go ahead yourself, hon.
All right, can you all hear me? All right, awesome. So glad to be here, guys. We're gonna make this short and sweet, but I do have a PowerPoint up here. So I want you to know this is fun with taxes, okay? Because everybody loves them all the time, right? Now, I totally understand, guys. And I wanna make this process as simple, easy. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Dan Maurer. I work with Joseph Conti, who is my partner. He's my friend. And we're here to help. We're here to help with your taxes because it's not always easy to do them. And I hear so many stories of people trying to do it themselves. But we want to be here to help you guys. I've been working with Joe for the 7 years. He is a CPA, and I am a tax preparer. And what we do, and the reason why I wanted to have this call, is to just present to you guys the importance of having a professional doing your taxes for you versus trying to do it yourselves because of the benefits that we have as the Juice Plus community, okay? And I say that as we because not only is my wife in the business 17 years, I've been in the business for the past 4 years with it, and seeing those benefits and how they can play into effect into your tax bracket and your business itself and changing what can be done on your taxes for you to help you in doing those. And trying to do it by yourself, sometimes we just don't have all of that information at hand. So I'm just going to go through a few things with you guys real quick. And, you know, don't feel free to write questions down, type them in the chat box. We'll get to it right at the end, be a short Q&A. But I don't want this to be long for you guys. We're here. We have, you know, you can email us or call us, and we'll have that information for you guys at the end. But just so you guys understand what a CPA really is, it's a certified by the state's accounting board. And we're required to have a 4-year university degree in accounting and have to pass a rigorous professional exam to earn that certificate, all right? Joe has done that, and he is absolutely phenomenal at correlating with businesses, understanding the laws, the new tax laws, which a lot of people just don't grasp yet, and because they're changing over the past 2 years, and how that can really help with your business. CPAs have more broad knowledge base of the law and procedures and the taxes at hand, all right? And they specializing in self-employed individuals give us a broader understanding of tax planning for business owners. Most people, when they go to a tax professional, aren't CPAs, and even if you do have the CPA, sometimes they're so focused on being a CPA in, let's say, Arizona, Texas, or just in any state that they don't really have a grasp and understanding of what can be done, especially with our business and how much in our business we travel. We travel to conference, we travel to boot camps, we travel to our friend's house to do a home event. Those are all things that can be written off for you as long as you're tracking it. And there's special things that can be done with a self-employed business that sometimes CPAs don't look at, or they look at just the basics of it. And because we have a broad knowledge from Joe's been doing taxes and been a CPA for almost 20 years now, he specialized in travel nurses. And in understanding that, they have a home base or a home state, and then they work in multiple states. Well, that's kind of like what we do when we travel. We have our home state, but we might travel to Florida, and we might travel to, you know, Tennessee or to California for boot camps and different things. It's not only what you get for your meals and travel that you've spent, but there's also things that we can look at that are per diems that might work into what you're doing that you're missing out on, which are big benefits. So those are the important things of having a CPA. A lot of the questions that I get, you know, everybody knows, oh, you do taxes, all right? Can I deduct my product that I buy for myself? That's the biggest number one question. The answer is simple, yes and no. Okay, and I'll get into it in just a minute. Can I deduct housing expenses? Yes, to a portion, and we need to understand that to the portion of the house that is being used for the business. All right. Can I deduct my travel? Yes. Okay. Do I need to be incorporated? No. But at a certain point in your, and as your business grows, you're going to want to, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Should I be incorporated? All right. And then that depends on your gross income, like I just mentioned. So travel per diems. All right. There's deductible for meals and entertainment. Not only actual lodging and hotel expenses are deductible, and there's also what I mean by that. Let me slow down for a second. What I mean by that is sometimes we say, okay, I spent X amount of dollars, all right, for meals, but sometimes it can be a per diem situation where you're in that state and you can get a per diem, which means basically the government says you get X amount of dollars. Let's say it's $100 for that day, but you might have only spent $50 in that state, okay? You have self-employed tax deferred IRA or 401k contributions can be made for self-employed people, which could be a huge deduction and reduce your income. The cost of samples can be deducted, so that's what I was talking about. We all ask, can I deduct what I buy for myself? Well, we all realize, all right, in the Juice Plus business, we don't really buy product to be samples as separate. We buy it as a whole. And that's what we need to understand, that then you can deduct a portion of that as being for samples. Because we all know we give away product all the time, whether it's shakes that we have in our house. Oh, I was just out in Texas and met up with N&D who gave me shakes. That can be counted off as deductible because they were given out, okay? A percent of your home expenses can be deducted, like I said. It's prorated based on the area of the space that's used for your business. And that's essential. So if you have your own set office or you work, let's say at your kitchen table, we take a portion of your total of your home, and then we can deduct not only just the mortgage, the interest, the electric, your cell phone, all of those things can be deducted. So those are key things in understanding why it's important to have a professional at your disposal. We're here to help. I told you it'd be quick and easy. I said it'd be fun with taxes. I hope you had a little bit of fun. I wanted to thank you. All right, you can reach us if you want to take our number down. It's 800-672-0364. You can reach out to us at our email addresses. Joe, did you have anything else that you wanted to add to what I had said? And I think I need to unmute him. So just give me 1 second, guys, so I can. I am the host, correct, Aaron? Okay, so unmute, Joe. All right.
There we go. Hi, everybody. No, I think, Dan, you covered everything we wanted to talk about. I'm not sure if this was fun with taxes, because taxes really aren't fun, but we are here to help answer any questions. So if you have questions now, feel free to send them to the chat or let us know, and we're happy to help.
Did anybody have any questions? That's the big thing. A lot of people like to ask those personal questions, and we can always answer those personal questions. If you don't feel comfortable here, obviously our phone number is on there, and also our email addresses if you wanted to email us. But if not, then we will end the call. And
well, Taffy has a comment here. She joined it a little after 8:30. Yeah, we started at 8:30. It was a relatively brief call. She's asking the question in the chat room.
Okay. Okay. Let me open up the chat and see. Okay.
Carolyn has a question about deducting a portion of your home. It's not a red flag as long as you don't abuse it. So the guidelines state that it has to be exclusively used for business purposes. So playroom / home office, really doesn't qualify. But if it's a specific portion of the home that's used for business, then you can deduct it. It's not a red flag, and if it's questioned, it's pretty easy to support if it's legitimate.
So Pam, since our business is about being a product of the product, can we deduct all the product we buy? Well,
Well,
since,
yeah, I can answer that. The answer is you probably could get away with doing it, but it's questionable. And that's one of those red flags that someone mentioned earlier. Um, it's a borderline thing, and I wouldn't advise doing that. Personal consumption, it's a gray area, so it's not really a great answer for you, but that's the best I can give you at this point.
and that's what I was talking about earlier, guys, when we talk about a portion of our product. And always reach out to us. We can have a conversation of what you feel you're giving away as samples and moving our and using out there versus what you're taking. So it's always a conversation, and sometimes it moves. There's no set percentage, so just understand that much.
So Ange has a question about TurboTax. Why would TurboTax not be adequate? The answer is it may be adequate if you're comfortable using it and you're familiar with some of the tax laws that pertain to entrepreneurs and self-employed individuals like yourself. It may work. So it does a pretty good job of doing a basic tax return. If you have a little bit more in-depth, complex situation, that's where someone like us could help.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to tag on to what Joe had said about TurboTax. TurboTax is great as long as you really understand those laws that are being presented and what you really could benefit from those.
So Heidi has a good question here to kind of tack on to the home office, because that is a deduction that there is a stigma, the red flag, the IRS audit. Is it a questionable thing? So the question is, you can probably see it, there's a home office, there's a kitchen, a living room, a backyard for events. So getting back to the main point, the portion of the home has to be exclusively used for business. So if it's a backyard, it's going to be hard to sell that to the IRS. But if it's a small home office or even a portion of a living area, you can deduct the basically that percentage of the household expenses. If you have an outdoor event or a backyard or using the kitchen for something, you can deduct whatever the materials that you use or the cost that you have to have the event, but not related in general to the entire house.
I just want to you could also write off for that event the cleaning cost for the before and after if you wanted to, correct?
Yeah, anything specifically related to the event, any expense you have related to setting up, preparing, attending, breaking down, cleaning up, that's all deductible.
So just so you guys understand that, a lot of the questions come down to the home. The biggest benefit that I've seen through this and in doing this doesn't really come from the home, but more from our traveling. Because remember, you guys are traveling to your friends' houses, you're traveling to new clients' houses, you're traveling to distributors' homes. Those are all deductions that you could be taking for mileage on the car. And then the bigger one is the travel outside. How much are you going to events? Even local events, guys, the cost to the local event, even if it's the $20 distributor fee, whatever it is for your local event, can be deducted. So those are all things that we have to take into account.
Aaron with a nice question. When we look at tax returns for someone as a sort of a second set of eyes, yeah, absolutely. That goes back to the question about TurboTax for Ange. We'd be happy to take a look to see if you're on the right track, if you're missing anything that's major or significant. We're happy to do that. Complimentary. Take a look at your returns, previous years or your current returns if you're going to use TurboTax to prepare them yourself.
Yeah, the per diem versus actuals by state. That's a more in-depth conversation, just depending on where you're traveling, Pam. So more than happy to have a conversation with you about that. If you want to give us a call, absolutely, or just send us an email. We can discuss things for that, because it really can vary per person. So there's really no general terminology for that.
I think the tricky thing here is it's very personal, just like our health. There's foundations that go across that can help people, but it also can be very personal. I'll share with you guys that we had someone else doing our taxes for several years, and I even though Dan was working with Joe, I didn't want to switch over, and he just did it, and I'm so glad because he saved us thousands of dollars. So it's always great to have that extra set of eyes looking over to see if you're really happy where you're at, to make sure the person who's doing your taxes is doing the right stuff, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, you know, so that never hurts. And I know you guys offer a discount for Juice Plus distributors. Is that right, Joe and Dan?
Absolutely. For anybody that's new that comes over to us, we offer a 20% discount that's off this call. So even if you've passed it on to somebody that is in the Juice Plus community or not in the Juice Plus community, we work with everybody. We would offer a 20% discount as long as they mention that they saw it on the Zoom call. And then also for returning, if you're a returning client and you have shared this with somebody, make sure they let us know, and then we give a thank you or referral for that too. So you know, we're here to help make it easy for you guys.
You guys had asked, this call is being recorded. It will be put in a couple of different Boxer chats. So whoever invited you to the call gets with that person, you guys. I have a question because I know there's a few people on the line who have multiple homes. If someone is, say, for example, in one of their homes doing business, can they write off spots for both of their homes?
You cut out for a second there. Can they write off? Say that again?
So she asked if you could write off for both the homes, if there's designated spots in both the homes. And it just really depends if one's a rental home or if it's a vacation home, but the actual cost of that home, if it's being used for the business specifically, then yes, it can be.
Yeah, if it's a second home, then yes. If it's a vacation, if it's a rental home, then basically no. That's right, Dan.
Say that one more time, Aaron.
What if they own both of the homes and they share time in both the homes and they of course do business in both the homes?
Absolutely, yes. That was what you had said, yes. But if you were renting the other home out, no, then you obviously it wouldn't be considered a use of the home by you. So any other questions anybody has, chime in. You can unmute yourself. We love hearing you. All right, guys, it was absolutely awesome having you guys on the call. Again, we are available to you. I'm going to pop this on real quick and share my screen one last time, guys, just so you guys get the, let me share this real quick so you guys can get the, what's that? Oh, it's on there? Okay, all right, great. So, all right, guys, you guys have a great night.
I think this is the least amount of questions we've ever had on a tax call. Normally we have to shut it down. So
yeah.
All right, guys, if you guys need to reach out, you guys can box Dan or Joe or me or email them or call them, obviously. Have a great night, guys.